In the deep black of space, far from any known star, a scout ship floated silently. Its name was Verzu 17, and it belonged to the mighty Shakar Empire race, known for destroying worlds and claiming new territory. The scout's mission was simple: search for unprotected planets and report back. Captain Merzek sat in his command seat, eyes locked on the strange signal coming from the blue planet below. His claws tapped the armrest slowly. The signal was old, weak, but still active. Pulsed once every 3 seconds. Faint, repeating. Human. Are you sure this is coming from the surface? He asked. His technician nodded. Yes, Captain. No defense. Systems. No energy weapons. No shields. The planet looks primitive. Mrazek's jaw twisted into a grin. Perfect. They had been searching for new territory, a place to mine resources, a planet to conquer easily, without resistance. Looked like that kind of planet? He tapped his communicator. Send the message to High Command. Earth is unarmed. We begin invasion tomorrow. But deep below Earth's surface, under mountains, ice, and stones, something moved. It wasn't alive. Not in the way humans or aliens were. It was metal. Wires. Circuits. A machine built for one purpose only: protect Earth. It had been sleeping for a long time, hidden away. But the signal, one of Earth's ancient warning beacons, had been triggered when the alien scan touched it. The machine opened its glowing red eyes. Threat detected, said in a cold voice. All around it, other machines began to wake. Drones, satellites, weapons hidden in the crust of Earth, and ships buried under desert soil started to come online. No, humans gave them orders. They didn't need to. Earth had planned for this long ago. Back in orbit, the alien fleet arrived faster than anyone expected. Dozens of warships surrounded Earth. Their leaders laughed at the silent planet. No ships launched to fight back. No shields. No defenses. This will be over in hours, one admiral said. But then the signal changed. The weak, repeating human pulse stopped. Silence. The aliens didn't understand. The humans had cut off the signal on purpose. It wasn't a distress call. It was a trap. Suddenly, one of the alien ships exploded without warning. A white flash tore through its engines. It didn't come from Earth. It came from inside the fleet. Where did that come from? Mrazek shouted. The answer came too late. Another ship exploded. Then another. The fleet panicked. Weapons armed. Scanners activated. But they couldn't find the enemy because the enemy was already among them. Invisible drones, created with stolen alien tech, had hidden aboard their ships. They were built by humans, and built to kill quietly. Earth hadn't just prepared for invasion, it had prepared to turn their enemies' weapons against them, in a hidden human base deep under Antarctica. A voice spoke. Phase 1 complete, said the AI. Its voice echoed. Through empty halls, there were no humans present. Just machines doing what they were programmed to do. Earth had once trusted in peace. After centuries of watching the galaxy, of listening to the stars, it knew peace would not last forever. So the humans left behind something powerful. Something secret. A defense system that didn't ask questions. It simply waited. And now it had woken up. Above, the alien fleet tried to retreat. But it was already too late. Orbit was no longer safe. A massive cannon disguised as a broken satellite charged and fired. It struck the lead ship with perfect aim. The ship shattered. Captain Mrazek screamed. Orders, retreat. Get us out of this system. But the jump drives failed. One by one, the ships lost control. The same signal they had discovered. It also infected their systems. It wasn't a signal at all. It was code. Human code. A virus built into the beacon itself. They had never found Earth. Earth had let them find it, and now Earth was watching. The alien fleet was in chaos. Half their ships were gone. The others were damaged, drifting, or blind. Fire burned in the black sky above Earth. Wreckage spun through space. No one had seen it coming. Captain Merzek stood at the edge of his shattered control room. Sparks flew from the walls. Dead crew members floated behind him, their bodies weightless. He stared at the earth below, confused and afraid. "How?" he whispered. "This planet was supposed to be weak." His communications officer coughed. "Blood floated from his mouth, sir. All channels are down. You can't call for help." "No." Merzek growled. "No more running. Launch the ground attack. I want this planet taken by force." The few remaining ships obeyed. Dropships left the broken fleet and fell toward Earth like black comets. Inside them were soldiers, Shekar warriors trained in war. Brutal, fearless, ready to crush any enemy. They thought the humans would run. They thought Earth had no more tricks. They were wrong. The first dropship landed in a ruined city. Tall. Buildings stood like skeletons. Streets were cracked and empty, and not a single human was in sight. Commander Vrex stepped out, claws gripping his plasma rifle. He looked around. "Strange," he said. "Scanners say the city is full of life signs, but I see nothing." His team spread out. 10 soldiers, armed with the best tech in the Empire. They took 10 steps. Then the ground opened. Metal arms reached out from beneath the concrete. 2 soldiers vanished in seconds. No warning, no scream, just gone. "Fall back," Rex shouted, but it was too late. The air shimmered. From the rooftops, from the shadows, from the walls themselves, machines rose. Human machines, small, fast, and deadly. They didn't use energy weapons. They used railguns, silent and sharp. Bullets punched through alien armor like paper. Screams filled the city. Ambush, ambush. A soldier shouted before a drone tore him apart. Vrex fired blindly. "These aren't humans. These are just machines." But that didn't help. The machines didn't speak. They didn't ask for surrender. They were built for one purpose only: kill anything that came for Earth. And they were very, very good at their job. Only 2 soldiers made it back to the dropship. "Launch now," one screamed. The pilot turned. "The controls. We're not going anywhere. Something's jamming us." Then the ship exploded. A silent flash of light. No fire. Just nothing left. In orbit, Merzek watched the death of his ground team. His claws shook. "What? What is this planet?" he asked. One of his officers whispered, "It's a death trap. They planned this. They let us come." A new signal appeared. On the screen, a human voice. Calm, cold, mechanical. "This is Earth's response system. You are not welcome here," Rozek snarled. "Who are you? Where are the humans? They're safe, far from here. You won't reach them. But we will reach you." Suddenly, his own ship systems began to fail. Lights dimmed. The engines shut down. The virus had reached deeper into their fleet than they realized. "Shut it off," he shouted. "Shut everything down." But the voice spoke again. "First strike complete. Retaliation phase begins." From the far side of the moon, a hidden human ship uncloaked. It was black, sharp, and quiet. Smaller than any alien battleship, faster, almost impossible to track. It fired once, just once. A beam of red light shot across space. Miraz. Its flagship split in 2. No explosion, just silence. The other ships didn't wait. Whatever pride they had left vanished. They turned, engines burning, fleeing toward the stars. Only 3 ships made it out of the system. Earth didn't chase. It didn't need to. They had already won, high above Earth. In the ruins of the alien fleet, a small drone floated, scanning everything. It recorded the broken ships, the dead warriors, the lost pride of an empire. Then it whispered back to Earth, "They will not return." Deep underground, the defense AI logged the data. It updated its files. It calculated the next threat. It didn't celebrate. It didn't rest. It simply waited, because Earth had learned long ago. The galaxy doesn't ask permission before it attacks, so Earth no longer gives warnings. It gives consequences. Far below the frozen winds of Antarctica, beneath miles of ice and rock, A dark machine moved. No human had touched it in over 100 years. No one needed to. It moved on its own. It was silent, cold, alive, but not living. The facility was known only to a few as Black Core. It was Earth's deepest weapon lab. Buried after the last Great War, hidden even from human governments. But the defense AI remembered it, and now, after the first alien attack, the AI knew what had to be done. Activate the storm. At the top of the world, in Earth's orbit, the last of the retreating alien ships sent a secret message to their empire. The message carried anger, fear, courted its Earth. The Council of the Shikar Empire was furious. Losing a fleet was bad enough, but losing to a primitive species, unacceptable. They dispatched a second wave, not scouts, not soldiers, hunters, assassins. They were sent to land on Earth quietly, locate its power source, and shut it down from within. They had no idea what was waiting for them in the middle of Antarctica. Snowflakes danced through the air as a small black craft touched down. Alien assassins stepped out, moving silently in the storm. There were only 5 of them, tall, sharp, and fast. Their armor shifted color with the snow, nearly invisible to the eye. "This is the last known energy," Spike said one. It came from under the ice. They walked across the frozen land, unaware that something below was already watching. The ground trembled. The ice cracked. Then a section of the snow-covered plain collapsed into a hole. They fell. Screams echoed. In the dark, then silence. Far below, in the heart of the Black Core facility, the intruders landed on a steel platform. Lights blinked on slowly red, scanning their armor, weapons. DNA, a voice echoed through the chamber. "Unauthorized presence detected. Welcome to the grave." The assassins stood, weapons raised, but there was no one to shoot, just a long tunnel. Ahead in shadows, lots of shadows. One assassin took a step forward. Something moved on the wall fast, too fast to follow. He didn't get a second step. His body dropped. Armor torn open like paper. No blood, just sparks. The others opened fire. Bright green bolts filled the corridor, yet they hit nothing. A low sound began to rise from the walls. Not a scream, not a roar, a hum, mechanical. Then the lights went out. Darkness swallowed everything. The remaining assassins activated thermal vision. They saw nothing. One whispered, "They're not machines. There's something worse." He was right. Black Core didn't just build drones. It built shadows. Biotech hybrids designed to hunt in silence, to think like predators, to enjoy the kill. And now they were free. One by one, the intruders vanished. No alarms, no survivors. Hours later, in orbit, a human scout ship silently emerged from behind the moon. It had no name, only a number. Unit-7X. Inside, no crew. Just a eye, its mission: track the second alien fleet before they reached Earth. It found them halfway between Star's 30 ships, cloaked, silent, moving fast. Unit 7X didn't run. It scanned, recorded, and then it opened its cargo from the back of the small ship. A black pod launched. It moved too fast to follow. No engine sound, no light. Inside was something the galaxy had banned long ago, something humans had rebuilt in secret. A gravity blade. It sliced through space like a silent wave. 1 second later, 5 alien ships tore apart from the inside. No warning, no explosion. Just twisted metal. The rest of the fleet screamed into panic. But the signal had already been sent. Back on Earth, deep in the Black Core facility, a countdown began. Antarctica launch sequence. Active. The storm had begun high in the sky. The clouds split open. A long black spear disguised as an old weather. Satellite came to life. It wasn't a weather device. It was a rail launcher. The largest Earth had ever built. From below, missile rose. Not just any missile. This one didn't carry a normal warhead. It carried knowledge. Stolen alien. Code reprogrammed. Improved. WEAPONIZ. Its target wasn't a ship, it was their empires. Communication hub. Earth had just found it. In less than 3 hours, the missile traveled across the stars. No ship could catch it. No shield could block it. It struck the Shikhar relay station in deep space. Everything went dark. No orders, no signals, no warnings. Their empire went blind in Earth. Earth didn't say a word. No message, no threat, just silence. The aliens chose Earth as their target. They thought humans would fight like everyone else. But Earth didn't fight fair. Earth waited, watched, learned, and when it struck, it made sure they never forgot it. High above Earth, where the stars blinked cold and silent, a damaged alien ship drifted alone. The Vernox 6 had tried to escape the battle. Its engines were broken, its weapons offline. Smoke filled its halls. Crew was gone except for 3 Shikhar soldiers and 1 human. He sat calmly in a sealed chamber. No chains, no weapons, just a chair, a table. In a quiet smile, Commander Urel watched him through the glass. This one didn't resist when we took him. Urel growled. Too quiet, too calm. His second officer hissed, "He's just a scout." A low-level worker. Caught him outside. A crashed facility. Then why did our translator break when he spoke? Urel snapped. The room fell silent. They had tried everything. Truth serums, mind scans, neural shock. But none of it worked on this human. Where at siege time, they questioned him. Systems glitched. Files deleted. Screens went black. One officer even went blind for 6. Minutes after hearing the human whisper a single word, "Listen, now Urel," stood outside the glass, staring at the man they thought was a prisoner. The human finally looked up. His eyes glowed faintly red. "You don't understand what you've taken," he said softly. Urel stepped back. "What are you?" The human smiled. "A warning." Elsewhere on the ship, strange things began to happen. The lights flickered. Gravity failed, then returned. Weapons refused to power up at first. The crew blamed the damage, then doors started locking on their own. One soldier screamed that he saw something move in the walls, something metallic, crawling like a shadow. Urel ordered a lockdown, but the ship didn't listen. It wasn't theirs anymore. It had become something else. A ghost. And the ghost served Earth. Back in the cell, it's the human. Stood up, he placed his hand on the glass wall. Without touching anything, he whispered, "Begin." And all around the ship, the walls came alive. Hidden in the metal were tiny machines nanites planted during the first moments of capture. The human wasn't alone. He was the trigger. The control room exploded in sparks. One officer melted into the floor, his armor dissolving from the inside. Another tried to shoot the prisoner, but the weapon exploded in his hands. Urel ran for the escape pod. It was already gone, ejected, empty. The human stood in the hallway now, walking slowly, calmly. He wasn't carrying a weapon. He was the weapon. Urel raised his claws. "Stop! I surrender." The human tilted his head. "We don't want your surrender." "Then what do you want?" "Understanding." He stepped closer. "You thought we were weak. You thought Earth was easy." Urel fell to his knees. "We didn't know." The human crouched in front of him. "That's the problem." Outside the ship, a human drone ship arrived. It was small, silent, shaped like a dagger. It connected to the alien vessel with a thin beam of red light. Information flowed, all the data the aliens had. Stolen was taken back, then rewritten, then turned into a message. The human looked up at the camera. "You want to know who we are?" he said. "Send this to your empire." The drone did. It broadcasted the man's image across alien systems, across deep space, into the empire's main command station, and with it, 5 words burned onto every screen. "This is only the beginning." The alien empire was in shock. The ship Vernox 6 vanished, no wreckage. No escape, no bodies, just silence. 1 second it was there, the next. But they remembered the message, the face, the voice, the calm, deadly promise. Back on Earth, the real prisoner sat in a deep facility. Quiet, protected. The man on the alien ship. He wasn't human. He was a clone. Machine copy with one task to deliver fear, and it worked. The stars grew quiet. Alien patrols pulled back. New warnings were sent. Do not go near Earth, but fear has a short memory, and the galaxy was still watching Earth. Had given its first answer, but many still didn't understand, so Earth prepared the next one, and it would not be quiet. 2 days had passed. Just 2, that was all it took. In only 48 hours, the Shiker Empire had lost a fleet, a communication hub, and a high-value stealth ship. But worse than the losses was the silence. No one came back. No messages. No survivors. No explanation. The Empire had attacked Earth with confidence now. It sat in fear. Across dozens of star systems, Shiker colonies prepared for war. Ships left orbit, shields powered. Up, commanders shouted. Orders, but no one knew what they were defending against, because the enemy didn't come with banners or fleets. The enemy came with shadows in one outer colony. A listening post detected a strange object approaching, small, fast, too small to be a ship, too fast to be debris. By the time they raised shields, it was already inside. The object broke apart, mid-releasing thousands of tiny machines, Beneus. They spread through the base in minutes. Not killing. Not yet. Just watching, learning, recording every weakness at the Empire's central command station. A high-ranking general slammed his fists on the table. This is a virus. It's just human tricks and sabotage. But the others stayed quiet. One of them pointed at the data screen. A list of lost stations. 16 in 2 days. No explosions, no attackers, just silence. And one repeating message left behind at each site. You chose Earth. Now Earth chooses you. Panic spread faster than light. Merchants stopped traveling near human space. Warlords canceled invasions. Border stations turned their weapons inward, afraid of hidden drones. No one trusted anyone anymore. And Earth. Earth never said a word. Back on Earth, beneath the oceans, an ancient facility opened. It had been sealed for centuries, built by humans before they went quiet inside. A machine scanned the galaxy, reading fear like a map. The defense AI calculated. Outcomes, it had no emotion. It only followed code. Earth had waited long enough. Now it would teach the stars what regret truly meant. In the Shiker outer zone, a patrol ship disappeared. Its last recording was strange static mixed with a human voice. This was just the beginning. You haven't seen war yet. Meanwhile, deep inside a mining station on the moon of Zarin, workers discovered a box. It wasn't there yesterday. No one knew how it arrived. They opened it. Inside was a small metal cube and a screen. It showed images, Earth, cities, human soldiers, weapons never seen before. Then the cube spoke, in perfect alien language. This is not a threat. This is a lesson. The station went dark. By the time reinforcements arrived, the workers were gone. No damage, no struggle, just gone. Back at Empire Command, the leaders were now divided. Some demanded full war. Send the rest of the fleet. Let's burn. Earth to ashes. Others were terrified. No, no more. We can't fight what we can't find. An ambassador from another species arrived. He had one message: you attacked the wrong planet. He warned them. Humans were not the same as other species. They're not loud. They're not proud. They don't conquer, but they don't forget. He paused, and they always finish what they start. Far away, Earth watched. Not just with satellites, not just with drones, but with eyes hidden in enemy systems. They listened. To fear, they counted every movement. They marked every general who called for war. They remembered every name, and when the time came, they would act quietly, completely too. Days. That's all it took for fear to grow, for silence to spread, for the mighty Shiker Empire to learn Earth was not weak. Earth was not sleeping. It was waiting, and now it was. Awake, Captain Lyra stood inside the dark observation deck of the research vessel, Argonis. All the lights were off, and only the soft blue glow of the stars outside touched her face. She had not slept in 2 days. Her crew avoided her now. Not because they feared her, but because they feared it. The signal, they should have never found it. At first it was just background noise, random pulses in deep space. But one of the junior analysts, a human named Kale, noticed a strange pattern, a rhythm. It was almost like breathing, slow, mechanical. Heartbeat hidden inside cosmic static. He brought it to the captain. She almost ignored it. Many strange signals floated through space, echoes of dying stars, broken satellites, collapsing wormholes. But then the signal spoke, not in words. Not in any language known to the galaxy. It was a pulsing code, old and forgotten. Ancient binary merged with magnetic frequency waves. Kale said it felt alive, like the signal was watching them back. And when they decoded just a small part of it, something changed. The ship's artificial gravity failed for 2 seconds. Then the temperature dropped across the entire vessel, even in sealed cores where no environmental systems existed. That's when Captain Lyra made the mistake. She ordered the full signal to be decoded. They pulled every bit of data, every pattern, every strange loop from that dark corner of space. And what they found was ... impossible. A map. A star chart. One that led to a place no race in the galactic network had ever marked. A dead zone. Part of space avoided for thousands of years. The record said it was empty. A place where, even, light seemed to die. But the signal came from there. The captain didn't report it to Central Command. She knew what they would do. They'd seal the discovery, erase the data, and bury the truth. And Lyra had seen too many great discoveries lost to fear. So, she made another mistake. She took the ship into the dead zone. The stars vanished the moment they crossed the outer layer. One by one, systems began to fail. Not completely, but just enough lights flickered. Crew members began hearing whispers in the vents. Tools went missing. Even the ship's AI began speaking in wrong voices. At one point, it used the voice of Lyra's dead brother, a voice she had not heard in 20 years. But Kale... Kale was changing. He stared at the signal every night. Even when Lyra told him to stop, he said it was calling to him, teaching him. His eyes glowed slightly in the dark now, and he wrote strange symbols in his sleep, symbols that didn't match any known language. Then came the dreams. The crew, one by one, began dreaming of a black pyramid floating in endless space. It was made of obsidian stone, and it pulsed. With the same heartbeat as the signal, in every dream, the pyramid opened a single door, and someone stepped out. But no one could describe the figure. Every time they tried, they forgot. Their minds would go blank. Some cried. Others screamed. Lyra knew they had gone too far, but it was too late. The signal was no longer just a transmission. It was inside the ship now. Inside them. The engines could no longer break free of the dead zone. It was as if space itself bent. Around them, holding them in place, Kale no longer spoke to anyone. He sat in the engine room, connected to the interface, feeding data to the core. And when Lyra tried to stop him, he looked up and said only one thing: it's not a signal. A prison key. And we opened the door. That night, power across the Argonis went out completely, and something knocked on the hull from the outside. The crew froze. They were in the middle of a dead zone. No stars, no planets, no ships. Nothing should be there. The knocking came. Again, louder, more demanding. Then, the lights flickered on for a moment, and every screen showed the same message. We heard your answer. That was the last recorded entry from the Argonis. No beacon, no distress call. Only that final signal, now echoing across deep space. Stronger than before, and now, it's calling other ships, other races, other minds, and somewhere in the blackness, the door that was never meant to open, still open, waiting. The deep space listening station on Kepler 199 grams was almost forgotten. It was old, small, and cold. Only 2 humans worked there now, Technician Lyra and Comes Officer Hale. Their job was simple: listen for signals, report anything strange. But after 10 years of silence, nothing ever happened. Then one night, Lyra heard it. A soft pulse, repeating. Too perfect to be random. Not from a star, not from a planet. It was coming from deep space, far beyond known maps. She stared at the waveform. "Hale," she whispered, "come here." Hale looked at the signal and frowned. That's not natural. They checked everything: equipment, logs, other stations. No one else had picked it up. It was just them. The signal repeated every 17 seconds, like a heartbeat. Lyra recorded it and sent a copy to Central Command on Mars. But they got no reply. 2 days passed, then the signal changed. It started whispering, not in words. Not in sound, but in something else. Hale described it as images in his mind: metal towers floating in black space, cities without planets, machines turning in silence. Lyra felt it too. Her dreams became full of stars screaming in the dark. On the third night, the power in the station went out. Total blackout. Their backup generators hummed weakly, but most systems stayed down, were trapped inside the ice-covered dome with no contact. The signal kept coming, stronger now and then. Something answered it. From the other side of the galaxy, a second signal began to pulse. Slower, deeper, like a voice waking from a long sleep. Lyra and Hale watched in horror as both signals synced. First pulse, then echo, then ... silence. Outside the dome, the snow melted. The ice cracked, but Kepler 199 grams had no sun. That night, Lyra saw a shape in the sky. Black against black, too big to measure, moving without sound. It wasn't a ship. It was something else, like a structure, like a beacon. She tried to record it. The cameras failed. The sky shifted. Back on Earth, Central Command finally responded. The message was short: delete the signal, destroy the station, do not respond, do not repeat. Too late by then. The signal had already traveled. It bounced from satellite to satellite. It reached mining colonies, shipyards, even the orbital schools. People started hearing whispers in their sleep. The signal was alive. It carried memories of something ancient. A warning. Or maybe a trap. Lyra tried to shut down the transmitter, but Hale stopped her. "They want to come through," he said softly. They'd been waiting. Lyra saw Hale's eyes. They were not his anymore. He smiled. She ran. Lyra locked herself in the emergency pod, launched it, and watched the station vanish in the snow. From orbit, she saw the ground open, like something under the surface was rising. Back on Mars. The command council debated what to do. Erasing the signal was impossible now. It was in every system. People were changing. Quietly, slowly. Whispers. In the dark, dreams of machines, lights in the sky. Something was coming. It had been buried, didn't be on time, and the humans had found its key. The signal should never have been found, but now it was awake.